Hello everybody, how's it going? Screezilla here, and I completely forgot to turn those things down. Oh god, pass off game hub thing. I don't want you there. You always get in my way. Um, you could restart this, or I could just carry on as normal, which you will always do. Welcome to War Thunder, and welcome to the Swedish Vampire. Oh, I don't know how you say vampire in Sweden. I wonder how that goes. Let us find out. Let me mispronounce something. We've got to mispronounce something in this game. It's a habit, always. Important thing. But yes, the Swedish Vampire. So, a very nice little plane. Based off the Mark 5, I think it is, the FB50. So yep, trying to remember the vampire variants now. Always the fun hard thing. Always the thing I love doing most as well. So I can't find the Swedish for vampire. Okay. Let's see if I can do that. So yeah, based off the slightly later variant of production. Oh, it's Vampyr. Okay, that was dull. That was well worth all of the effort that I didn't put into it. The Swedish Vampire, yeah, based off the Vampire is an export version of the fantastic Vampire, with just a glorious plane, the Vampire. One of my favourite planes of all time. Work on Vampire, of course, started back in 1941, and it was produced with the Gloucester Goblin engine, I think it was. Off the top of my head, yep. And I'm pretty sure it was Gloucester, wasn't it? Now, I'm probably getting that wrong as well. But anyway, the Vampire, one of the coolest, best, awesome jets there is in the universe. I adore Vampires. They're just so cool. I think my love for the Vampire and the Venom, I won't, say the Venom isn't as cool, because the Venom is still cool, it's just not quite as cool. My love of the Vampire comes from an air show that we had once in Swanage, back in England, a little sleepy seaside town. We actually had an awesome air show, and I had negotiated my way, as I often do in circumstances. I'm very good at negotiating my way into places I'm not meant to be. And I'd negotiated my way onto one of the rescue boats, which meant I was in the danger zone for all of the air show, which was great because it meant I got planes flying literally over my head. Like, the Vampire was the one that did it the closest, and I almost got knocked off the boat, and I felt like I had to duck because that thing was bloody close. It was terrifying. Oh my god, it was so cool. So my love of the Vampire really stems from then. The Vampire was a great jet. It was a brilliant design. It was a brilliant jet. It was very revolutionary, and it was very turny. It also did well in export sales. Many people like to sell it, and it sold well, obviously, as you can tell, because Sweden bought them, Italy bought them. I think pretty much everybody flew Vampires at one point or another, because, well, they were just so damn good. They had a relatively decent conflict sort of situation. They fought in the Suez Crisis, the Malayan Emergency, the Rhodesian Bush Wars. About 3,000 of them were made all in all, and yeah, they were just very good planes. They were very, very standard, sort of very good early jet planes. You look at jet planes at the time, and they're all very well, some of them are very clunky, you've got to say. Engines on the outside, or they're retrofitted from propeller-driven planes. We're in a little bit of trouble here. We've got quite a few enemies around us, but this is kind of where the Vampire works well, is when you're in a dogfight situation, because the Vampire is very twisty and turny. We've got an F80 on our 6, which is not great, because 50 cals, and we've got an R2Y2 in front of us. So we're just going to go there, and we're going to get on his 6, and he's got a damaged engine, and we set him on fire, and that is one dead R2Y2. We've got a Kika coming up, and we missed those shots. But we have somebody behind us. Yes, we do. And that Kika's turning in with us. No, he's not. He's going away. So we're just going to move around here and just position ourselves. Just going to jank out of position, avoid being shot at, and get into a sort of decent situation. Now, one of the things Vampyr does, it kind of holds its energy quite well. So that F80's coming in, going to come in for a head-on. We just go underneath him, avoid all those horrible, horrible 50 calibers that will set us on fire instantly, and we manoeuvre ourselves into a good position. Now, the best thing about the Swedish Vampyr is the gun. The ANZCAR. Why am I saying that's the best thing? Because, well, the British version has it. It's just called a Hispano Suiza. This 84 is going for a climb, which is a bad idea because we are on its 6, and good night, sweet prince, you are done. A bit of a risky situation there, but went well, and there's an R2Y2 coming up to try and get us now, and not going to work out for you, son. We're going to get you, and we do get him indeed. So down we go, swooping in, but we've now got a Meteor on our 6. Oh, crappity crap. Another good plane for turning. The Meteor, again, is a very good jet. A British jet, you know, what a surprise. But we've also got an F80 with us, so we're kind of in a bit of a pickle at the moment, because if we turn to engage the F80, we're going to get nommed on by that Meteor. That Meteor is very, very close to us, but we're going to turn, and we're going to turn into this F80. It's going to come in for a head-on, and we get the shot perfectly. It tried to disengage, but could not do it. But we still have that Meteor on our 6. Luckily, our friendly F80 Misrot comes... Milrison comes in to save us and takes out the Meteor. Thank you very much. I needed that little bit of help there in that situation. Great job. Got a bit of damage to us, but nothing major. F80 coming in, and should we go for the head-on? I think we'll go for the head-on. Now, we've got nice armour in the front of our plane. We also got those ANZCAR cannons. Now, the good thing about the cannons in this plane over the British Vampyr, for instance, is the ammunition choice. Because we have AP and we have HE. And that's it. We don't have any stupid practice rounds in there clogging up our guns, becoming useless. We actually have good rounds. We have useful things. Hooray! Something's actually useful. And it really makes a difference. Now, the ANZCAR is basically a Hispano Suiza Mark 4 or Mark 5, I can't remember which exactly. I think it's a 4. Which is renowned as a bit of a sparky gun, but it's a pretty decent gun, very fast rate of fire, of course. And, well, the powers of Spain, France, England and Sweden unite in this plane and become just this glorious little plane, which is the Vampyr. It's actually down the attacker line, the ground attacker line, because it's a ground pounder technically. It's it's close air support, but it's still a Vampyr, so it's a bloody good fighter. And if you didn't notice, we kind of got an ace there, by the way. Not me showing off, I mean, completely. I always have these games, I always have matches where I score aces. What am I talking about? I'm one of the best pilots in War Thunder. That's why I have a YouTube channel, because I'm just so great, yo. But yeah, the big thing for the Swedish Vampyr is the fact it has those rounds. It is the most expensive Vampyr for repairs, unfortunately, and that's not so good. I think it's about 15,000 lines. We'll see at the end of the video. But it does have those fantastic rounds in it, which really help you out and do a great job of, well, making it so you can kill things quickly. And you do, because you've got such a great rate of fire, centre of mass. You will just eat through anything that gets close to you. People come for a head-on, you're probably going to win, because you've got armour and, you're protected at the front, the engine's behind you, there's not much flammable around you, so you generally do quite well in a head-on situation. I don't recommend it, but you can kind of get away with it a little bit. Because the guns are just so well placed in this thing as well, you just go through planes so quickly. It's just an instant burst and they are down. The only negative of this plane really is the fact it's so slippery. It's slipperier than an eel that's been lubed up with KY jelly, which makes it hard to land sometimes, especially on a smaller runway. You do have to scrub off a lot of speed in the air because your brakes are as good as as a D-type Jaguars, really. Basically, they'll work for about 10 seconds, and then you've got to pray and hope you're going to stop, because otherwise you're not. So you do have to sort of edge it round a little bit, use your cannons if you can, and just swing it around a bit and get there. But we get the landing, everything is good, everything is fine, and that's really the match from here. There's only one plane left, which is a avocado, and that's currently flying at us. But that's going to be taken out by one of our friendlies. So we've not really got much to worry about right now. We're just going to repair, get up in the air, and that's about it, really. But yeah, the Swedish Vampyr, I've got to say, it's probably the best rank 6, 5, 6, 7, whatever rank jet it is, for Sweden. Because the problem is with some of the other Swedish planes at that VR, looking at UJ29 Turan, the tuner doesn't have a G-suit in it, despite the fact it should. Historically, it should have it. It was made with it. I've said it before in other videos. It had the bloody G-suit in it. But Gaijin decided no, it doesn't. So despite that, it still doesn't. So it's kind of a bit useless. Only the premium version, pay to win, ladies and gentlemen, gets the G-suit, while all of the plebs that have have it on their free account and have grinded for it, they just get the version that doesn't have a G-suit. So it means, unless you fully ace your crew and get everything, you're going to black out every 5 minutes, which makes the Vampyr a better option, especially for grinding, especially for the upcoming jet that's coming to Sweden next patch. What was it called? The Draken? The Draken? Yeah, it's going to help with that. Anyway, let's head to the end screen and check out what we did. Okie dokie. So, well, it's been a long time since I've had an ace. Well, in anything other than the bomber, the Swedish bomber. I've not actually had many aces in fighter planes, in all honesty. It's a rare occurrence for me, I must say. So, 12,000 RP, not bad. 100,000 silver lines, not bad. We got, of course, Double Strike, Avenger, Professional, Shadow Strike, Survivor, and Terror of the Sky. So 5 kills, 5 crits, 14 hits, 1 landing, 2 takeoffs, yada yada yada. So pretty happy with that. Although, an ace, and we still didn't get enough to get, an offensive belt. So yeah, fun stuff. Kind of wishing I'd activated that 2,000 RP boost. Sorry, 200 RP boost before that match. Ah, bollocks. Should have done that, really, shouldn't I? That would have been a very good match after that one. So let's have a look at the Swedish Vampyr. So, as you can see, I've got the fuselage, compressor, engine, wings, and G-suit. Honestly, these things are desperately needed. Without them, you're kind of up a creek without a paddle, so to say. So, always go down that line first. Yeah, always just get them. They're well worth it. Of course, the big thing is you have the Swedish guns on board, which 20mm Swedish guns, they work very well. The ANZCAR cannons, the ANZCAR cannons. I'm sorry, Kales, for my pronunciations. Oh, it's only going to get worse with the tanks. Oh, you poor Swedish, you poor Swedes. Oh, you're going to suffer so much. So yeah, pretty damn happy with that. It's a good little plane. Main reason because you've got the centre mass of those 420mm cannons. The ANZCAR, which has got enough punch to it to really do a lot of damage, and such central mass as well. This thing is just so maneuverable, speedy, and quick to move. It's great. One thing I do want to just point out here is the max repair cost of 17,000. If we just go to Britain, believe, doopy doopy doo, where are you? It's a bit more expensive than the British one, but of course it is a slightly different variant, and of course it doesn't have Hisparcos. So, you know, it's not the cheapest of planes out there. What about the Italian Vampire, actually? I just wondered about that. Italians have a Vampire, right, don't they? Yes, they do. Cool. So, yeah, it's still more expensive than the Italian Vampire, which I think is more expensive than the British Vampire, which, yeah. So it makes it the most expensive Vampire there is, but honestly, this thing is just an absolute beast. 7.3, up tier, you kind of struggle a little bit, but at your own tier and down tier, this thing is just god tier. The Vampire is just such a very good little plane. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you enjoyed that. Yada yada yada. Subscribe, all that usual stuff. And I will see you all next time for more whatever I feel like doing. Alright guys, till next time, this is me, Carl. Squeeze a lot. Bye bye.